All right, so hey, greetings, welcome everybody on this beautiful Saturday morning. We have, of course, someone very, very special with us, and that is Holli Johnson. Hi, Holli.
Hi.
And coming down to the last final days in the U.S., you got to soak up every piece of it that you can.
Yep.
So for those of you who are brand new to this broadcast, I have to let you know this is a mission of mine of sorts to support my very dear friend, Coach Curt Johnson, who there's a whole backstory there, and you're going to be able to find that on the Johnson family, help me, Curt.
Johnson Family Missions Facebook page, and I'll post that link if it doesn't show up automatically and in the comments here.
The Johnson Family Mission page. There we go. We got it. And there's a whole backstory. My relationship with Curt, I've known him 14 plus years. And then this is his lovely daughter, Holli, who is following in his footsteps from Curt, having served as a missionary overseas for 5 years in Fiji, I think New Zealand. I can't remember everywhere that she went, but quite a lot. And lovely Holli here has followed in Curt's footsteps and has lived in the Philippines, I believe, for, is it 2 years now, Holli?
4 years.
Oh, 4 years. Wow. Okay, so before we dive in, which is for Holli to give share a story with you of her work, working with the poorest of the poor, I was shocked and almost in tears last time because some of these children, she services the poorest of the poor, they go to school on a trash heap. And they have, some of them, no clothing. And then they sleep in the streets, and there's also sex trafficking on top of that. That is the world in which Holli works. And so I am here in support of her work, and you too will be able to help support Holli, and that is by, we're looking for donations actually, just to be really clear here. And then Coach Curt and I are providing training called Claiming Your Family Legacy. This is going to be an ongoing series, so I'm going to hand it over to Holli now. Oh, one more thing. This is specifically on my Sieg page. Write in kids, and that way you'll be notified in the comments section, and you'll be notified of future broadcasts. Just write in the term kids. If you're on my personal profile page, that won't work. But anyways, limited time here, so we want to get to Holli here and have her share one of her stories of working in Cebu, the Philippines.
Hi. Yeah, I have a lot of stories from the Philippines. Yeah, as she said, I've been here 4 years now, and yeah, I think one of the stories, it was kind of recently, that's one of my favorite stories is me and one of my friends, we went into one of, they call it like a squatter neighborhood, or yeah, just an area where houses are, you know, very shabby, lots of people in the little neighborhood. Everyone's always outside because there's usually no room inside their house. And yeah, I went into the neighborhood with my friends, and we saw some kids just hanging out on the street, and we decided to just stop and play with them. There was only a few, and yeah, once we started to play with them, you know, a few minutes later more kids would come, and then more kids would come because they usually don't see foreigners. But yeah, all of a sudden there's like 30 plus kids, and so we started to do dance routines and yeah, just playing with them for a couple hours. And yeah, afterwards I felt to share, you know, God's love story to them. And my friend was just standing there, and she was like translating and drawing on a board, and they were all listening. And yeah, it was just, they all decided that they wanted to know God. And I don't know, that moment was just really precious to me, that just by spending a few minutes with these kids, that they realized that, you know, that something deeper cares for them. And I think that's basically my heart, is just building relationships with kids and showing them, you know, that they are loved, that they are seen. And so that was one of my favorite moments with my friend, because we just went in to play with kids, and then 30 plus kids came to the Lord. And, you know, it's only a few minutes, and you kind of question how meaningful that was, because, you know, it was only for a little while. But I think for the most part, kids don't really remember what you say, but how you treated them and how you love them. And I hope from that, and from my time in the Philippines, even though a lot of times it's hard for me sometimes to know, you know, how they see life, how they see the Lord, but I think they always remember that somebody came and cared for them and, you know, stopped for them. And yeah, I have a lot of like little moments like that where it's really impacted me, that just by stopping and showing them that they're seeing that could really change how they see life, that there are people out there that understand them and want to know them, and that something bigger than them actually loves them. So,
what I'm seeing is a really, really proud father. All while you were talking, Holly, I can see your heart swelling with pride and happiness, Curt, and that the work and the legacy of Holli is being fulfilled out through your initial footsteps when you left for Hawaii, when we knew each other, and you left for the mission field. And so clearly we have a theme of claiming your family legacy. You are carving your family legacy, and Holli has stepped very strongly into your footsteps. Why don't you wrap it up, Curt, with what we're offering people as right now? I know Holli and her husband are trying to get a motorbike, so they have no mode of transportation. They live very, very modestly, and so we're looking for support for Holli's work in the Philippines, to work with the poorest of the poor. Like she said, there's a lasting mark of these children that someone stopped to care for them, and then the kids came like bees to honey, because someone is actually taking the time to care for them, which many of them are outcasts because the parents can't even afford to keep them in the home, and they end up on the streets. So Curt, how can people help support Holli's work, and what are we going to be providing people?
Well, and those that support Holli's work and go to the Johnson Family Missions page, we'll paste the link there. There's two ways to give: one-time giving or ongoing giving. And the more Holli gets, the more she's able to help these children. And she just touched the tip of the iceberg there. My wife went on some of these journeys with her last year, and my wife couldn't handle it. So when Holli says she goes plays with kids, what she doesn't tell you is the conditions. She doesn't tell the smells, the nakedness. It would repulse most people, and she loves it. So yeah. So as you give, then what Ann and I want to do, Ann has a son living in China. Obviously our Holli's living in the Philippines. Just those values that you have treasured in your family line, we're going to be talking, discussing, teaching, and mentoring and how to claim your family destiny. And so we will be getting to you. It'll be a live webinar training probably every month, maybe sometimes more, maybe sometimes less, but we're just going to be sharing with you the things that we've picked up through the years with you, and how you can claim and proclaim and continue on your family destiny. So I just really appreciate and you making this available to those that love you, the hundreds of thousands of people all over the world that you've impacted in their business life, to then say, well, what is it really all for? And at the top of almost everybody's list, at least in the top 2 or 3, is always family. And so we want to help impact that part of their lives also. So thank you for doing this, Ann.
Yeah, it's my privilege. Yeah, absolutely, Holli. I want this to be a massive blessing on the Johnson family. Curt has been a godsend to me over the years. So many blessings, and Holli, safe travels back to the Philippines.
Thank you.
I hope you have lots of jars of peanut butter that you're taking with you. All right, very good. So go ahead, folks. Well, actually, Curt and I will post the link in for you to then become a part of our tribe, our community of those who want to claim their family destiny. All right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.